Hello, welcome to QScutter. I am Narayan, and in this video I'm going to show you how to take date inputs using jQuery. So in this video I'm going to introduce you to an awesome jQuery library called as Datedropper, and this is completely open source and free library. You can use it. So this is a really awesome library. I'm going to show how to use this library to take date inputs in your form fields. It has a great user interface and it's a very lightweight library. So this is a URL for this library, and I have already added this URL below the video description, so just check it out over there. So first let's see how it looks. So for example, here is a demo. When I click on this birthday button, and you can see that it gives me a date dropper. I can select the month and then the date and then the year. It is very flexible, and there are multiple examples over here. You can just see that, and it's very highly customizable. Here you can only take months, and here you can take only year. So, and it's also animated and everything. The first thing we have to do is learn how to use this one. The first thing is we have to include the datedropper.js and datedropper.css files, and these two files are very important. So first we have to download these two files. So I'm going to go over here and click on this download version 1.0 button. So here you can see that the files are open, and this is a minified version which we are going to use, because on production sites it's better to use minified versions. And there are a lot of icons over here, and you may not need all these icons. You just need this CSS and JS file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these both files to my project directory. And you can see that the CSS file is 8 KB and this one is 9 KB. So it's a very small library and very sweet one. So now what I'm going to do is I have to write code to actually include this one in my project. So I can just copy this code from here. And here I'm just going to change the URL path. And here I'm going to remove this JS folder. So now you can see that it's embedded over here. So this is what we have to put in the head section of our site. In the body section, we have to put a input type text field, and this actually takes a text field as input. You can give any ID, it's your wish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give an ID of date picker. You can change the ID of your own wish. And then finally at the end of your body tag, you have to put this code to actually initialize this library on this particular text field. So the date which is picked by the user will be converted to text, and then it will be assigned the value attribute of this field. So here I'm going to change this one to date picker. So it's done now. I'm just going to do some formatting. So you can see that it's jQuery over here. I've saved it. Now I'm going to refresh this project, and I'm going to go to inspect. And there are two errors. I have to check out what are the errors. And you can see that the $sign is not defined. That's because we have not yet included jQuery in our project, and this library requires jQuery to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to load jQuery from CDN. So jQuery CDN. There are many ways to load jQuery. If you are having jQuery on your own project folder, then you can load it directly, but I'm going to use jQuery CDN basically. So let me just use the Google hosted library. This is more standard, and just click on this jQuery thing and just copy this line, and make sure you copy and paste this one above this Datedropper library so that it will work. So I'm going to paste it over here. Let's just little above it. I'm going to save it, and now I'm going to refresh this one again, and you can see that there is no error. And now when I click on it, again you can see that there is a date over here, and it is very nice one. And you can see that these images are not loaded. That is done next and previous. you can actually use your own custom image set of the same names according to your preferences, and you can also modify the CSS file with your own colors and everything, but this library provides lots of customization also. So what I'm going to do for in this case is I'm going to move this icons folder into my directory so that it also loads the icons instead of using custom icons. And you can see that these icons are not appearing, but when I'm clicking on it, these dates are changing. So for users perspective, you should provide these icons so that the users know how to navigate this date picker. And now when I'm going to click on it, you can see that we have this thing now, these arrow buttons for changing dates and everything. So this library is not only up to this, there are lots of customization you can provide to this library. And you can see over here there is lots of attributes which you can provide. For example, you can provide the format with, using which the month, date and year will be assigned. For example, over here you can see that when I'm going to inspect this one, it has no value at all. Now I'm going to select a date, random date, and you can see that this date picker has a value of what we say, the date and month, the month, date and year. So you can actually change this format using this attribute, basically all these attributes. And the language also you can change, for example Italian, French and Spanish and everything. You can also change the placeholders, like you can actually provide a placeholder like select a date or something for a message to the user over here. You can provide a minimum year, that is the user cannot go below that year, and the default is 1970. So you can change the minimum year. You can assign a maximum year, that is user cannot choose anything beyond 2016 or something else. Animation also you can add, so I'm going to add an animation to this. You can actually change the color. As I told you can change the color using JavaScript without actually touching the CSS file. Years underscore multiple, and this is also necessary. Animation current is true, and log from. So basically all these things, log from is the default value when you actually start it out. So there are lots of options over here, and let's see how to apply these options. So you can see that there is an option over here to actually do that. So the first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide animation equals to animation fading. So I'm just going to copy this one. I'm going to paste it over here. And this one must be wrapped around a JSON object. Okay. So the value I'm going to put in for animation is bounce. Let me just put it bounce for now. And here I'm going to put animation. Just save this one. I'm going to refresh this. And now when I'm going to click on, you can see that it's bouncing. So this is how you can provide these attributes. And the other one I'm going to provide is placeholder. So I'm just going to copy this one, and I'm going to create another JSON property, and enter date. And you can see this enter date, it is over here. So what I'm going to do is enter birthday date. I'm going to refresh this. You can see the birthday date changes over here. So this is how you can actually change the placeholder of this input text field. You can also assign things like the color. So the default color is this one. So you can also change it. Let me just provide something something very dark, just to see how it looks. And you can see the overall theme of these changes, and this is very nice. So you can change the color according to your own website theme, and there are many other options over here. You can just go ahead and try them out. Let me just try this one. For example, this format thing. The default format is okay in most cases. you will not need to actually change this format thing, but let me just change them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first put the year and then month and then date. And you can see that the year comes first and then the month and then the date. So you can change this format anytime you wish like, and on the server side you can actually take this one and work accordingly. So that's about all this library, and the support for library is very nice. You can see that it supports Internet Explorer 9 and above, Firefox 4 and above, Chrome 14 and above, Safari 5 and above, and Opera 12 and above. So there is a huge and really good support for browsers. And if you like this library, then please share this library and also this video with your friends so that they can also experience this. And if you really feel this library is helpful, then kindly donate this. Use this donate button to donate some amount to the guy who has developed this library. And here is the email address of this guy. You can actually send him thank you email or something like that. So thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.